Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
Okay. So, esteemed. Hello. Can. Okay. Okay. Okay, esteemed dignitaries of Resonance Kota, respected chairman, vice chairman, finance director, all other board members who are present over here, dedicated vice principals, dear parents and children. So this is the second year of our association with Resonance Kota. We started the program here in the school last year, and now the first batch is concerned, it is going to be in +2. So Resonance was very glad to offer one exclusive webinar for the parents and the children of not only Holy Grace, but of course in whole Kerala. And today we have got some eminent dignitaries from Resonance. Our RKV sir is popularly known as RKV sir, but he is Mr. Ramkrishan Verma. He is the founder of Resonance. So he has consented to lead this webinar here. On behalf of the entire participants and behalf of Holy Grace, I extend a warm welcome to RKV sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Then we have got the Vice President of Resonance, popularly known as SPR sir. The full name is Mr. Shiva Pradap Raghuvanshi. So we are extending a warm welcome to him also to this program on behalf of Holy Grace Academy. Welcome, sir. Then we have got Mr. Ajay Nagar. He doesn't need any introduction for Holy Grace as well as the students' parents. He is concerned, he is the Assistant Vice President IT as well as Talent Nurture. He himself is an IITian. So he has been in close contact with our institution for last 1 year, and he has addressed our children also many occasions. So on behalf of everybody here, I extend a warm welcome to Mr. Ajay Nagar also to this program.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Then, okay. Then we have got Holy Grace Management, our chairman, then the vice chairman, then the finance director. 3 of them are here, especially vice chairman and our finance director. They took a lot of initiative to bring to Resonance to Holy Grace Academy. They travel all the way from Mala to Kota. Last year, I still recall, they took a lot of pain to have a discussion with the Resonance officials, and finally they brought this dream of Holy Grace into reality. So I extend a warm welcome to our management to this program. Then we have got the section heads over here, the vice principals of secondary as well as middle school section. Both are here. Mrs. Hema is there and Mrs. Sabita, as well as the class teachers of a few classes. So I extend a warm welcome to each one of you to this webinar. Then the next is concerned our parents, really passionate parents, and the parents having not only a short-term goal in their life, but in long-term goal also. That is one of the reasons that they joined over here in this program. So they want to hear from the founder, the vice president of Resonance. So they'll be able to get a lot of information about how to crack a NEET or JEE. That is the topic of the webinar today. So these parents are concerned. So they have spent valuable time with us today this afternoon. So on behalf of Holy Grace and on behalf of Resonance, I extend a warm welcome to all our worthy parents of Holy Grace as well as parents from different parts of Kerala. Warm welcome to all of you. Then, of course, our students are concerned. Many students also joined along with the parents over here. So children are concerned, they are joining this program with a specific objectives. So the children who are here in this program, or the children who are having the ambition, having the dream to crack NEET or JEE, they are ready to get out of their comfort zone. And it is not so easy to crack these top competitive exams in the country. And as long as children have got the passion, as long as they have got the determination and they are ready to go for the extra mile, so dream can be converted into a reality, I'm sure. So I extend a warm welcome to all passionate students who joined this program. I extend a warm welcome to dear children. Then next is concerned, I hand over this mic to Mr. Ajay. So he will be able to explain more about the rest of the program. Over to Mr. Ajay.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for such warm words for the Resonance team. I will just introduce RKV sir, and I'll hand it over to sir. He is so. Let me start with RKV sir as founder of Resonance. He is an IITian too. He passed out from IIT Chennai, earlier known as IIT Madras, in 1994. I happen to be his student, so he's my guru. He taught me physics when I was preparing for IIT, so he is my guru also. There's much more that I can go on and on and on about RKV sir, because I have so many memories. He's an amazing singer, by the way, just to let you all know. He is a phenomenal physics faculty. He has trained, I don't know, thousands of students who have gone to IIT and possibly passed out and have achieved bigger heights. He's a wonderful personality, such a I would call the perfect blend combination of balance with the humility and humbleness. He's truly an amazing personality and an inspiration for all of us here at Resonance to really work for. So with this, I hand over to my guru, RKV sir, and I think so he'll take it forward from here.
Thank you, Ajay, and best wishes.
Thank you, sir.
So I, on behalf of Resonance, welcome the whole team of Holy Grace School, the management team, the trustees, and the students and parents who are participating in this webinar today. Actually, I'm not in the Kota city today. I had come out of Kota for some work, and yesterday SPR sir contacted me that we have to take a webinar of the students and parents at Thrissur. So I just somehow managed to be present for this webinar, and the topic of this webinar is very much close to my heart, and that is how to crack IIT and NEET. And as Ajay has very nicely explained that I myself graduated from IIT Chennai in 1994. So that is one of the big confidence building introduction for all the students who aspire for IITs, and that itself gives a lot of confidence to our team as well, and to the students who connect with us. First of all, I thank the Holy Grace team also for giving this opportunity to Resonance, that we should guide the students at Holy Grace for becoming successful in these two very competitive and prestigious exams, for taking admission in the most reputed institutions of the country for engineering and for medical. So a big thanks to the whole team from Resonance side. In this era of huge competition among all the service providers, when we are given the opportunity, we feel that our services, our true results, and our hard work is being recognized and appreciated, and is being shown confidence from the all corners of the country. Like we are in Kota, it's very far from the Thrissur city, Like when I used to go to Chennai for attending my college, I used to travel like more than 2000 kilometers. And at that time, there was no direct train from Kota. I used to go by bus from, by taking 2-3 buses from Kota, my village in Kota. I also belong to a very small village in Kota district. So 2-3 buses I had to change to reach up to Bhopal. And then from Bhopal, I used to take that train, GT or TN, Tamil Nadu Express, and then used to reach Chennai. And because I spent 4 years in IIT Chennai, I have many friends from Tamil Nadu, from Karnataka, from Kerala, from Andhra, all the 4 states of South. I have many friends, and from Kerala, I have few friends who were also very much uh, interested and very much they were liking music. One of my friend was used to play tabla. One of them was used to play violin. So we all had a very good orchestra team in ourselves, and we used to enjoy music in our hostel room also. And so a lot of memories with the uh, students, my friends from these 4 states, and we are still in touch with each other. One of my friend from Andhra, he is in US. We were 30 students in the batch of electrical and electronics of that time, 1990 to 94, and one of most of them are in US. Only we 4 5 are in India, and those like 24 25 who are in US. Uh, One of them who is from Andhra, he himself is now a music director. So as far as the music connection is concerned, it's very deep connection, and all the 4 South Indian states are full of culture and especially dedicated towards the all these things which are very much necessary for all-round development. Now, coming to the topic, that is the main agenda of this today's webinar. Uh, I was asking that which class students will be attending this session. So I was told by SPR sir that mostly those students will be attending this seminar, this webinar, who will be appearing in their JEE and NEET exam in 2022 and 2023. I hope I am correct. 2022 and 2023. There will be very few who will be appearing in these two exams in 2021. Uh, Ajay or
So you're
Principal can correct me.
so you're absolutely right, but there are people who actually are here to see you also. So
Okay,
that's
okay,
also
okay.
that's also
Okay,
the
okay,
and just want to listen to you. So
okay, okay. Those who have already appeared in the exams. Okay.
and the parents are also here. So yeah.
Okay, okay. So anyway, so it is 2022 and 2023 that students who are currently in class 10th and moving to 11th, and those who are in 11th and moving to 12th will be moving to 12th, because the the guidance and the flow uh, is always related to the target audience also, as all of you know. Accordingly, the things will be communicated. I had also told yesterday to SPR sir that after I complete my things, then the students can be allowed to ask questions also uh, with a moderator. And so if anything is left from my side, that can be covered in the question answer session. So first of all, I would like to convey to the students and parents that by joining Resonance, and it's not boasting, whatever I'm saying is supported by the past achievements and the records. Everything is available on the website, everything can be seen. So first of all, I would like to convey to the students and parents and to the school team also that you are in safe hands and you are in the guidance of the I should say most honest in its working and most dedicated team of academicians at Resonance. Resonance has always taken care of the students beyond expectations also. Maybe sometimes there may be some issues, but if you evaluate it in the larger perspective as a whole, then you will find that the services provided by Resonance were more than required and more than expected. So I can, in the opening remarks, say that we will be fulfilling all the expectations of the students and parents to great extent, and wherever parents and students feel that something more is required, we will feel happy to deliver that also. That is my commitment to the team, to students, parents, and we all are here to first deliver the academics, rest of the things flow automatically. Now, there is a standard protocol, you can say, or there is a standard procedure which if a student adopts, then he will definitely reach to the goal, and goal means rank, college and branch in case of engineering, and in case of medical there is no branch in undergrad in MBBS, but yes, there is a college option. So for engineering student there are three things. One is the range of the rank, and then branch, and then your college, and college and branch themselves are dependent on the rank. In case of medical students, their dream is, in case of MBBS, their first dream is to get a particular college, and in MBBS there is no branches. So for them rank is very important. Here the standard thing that I would like to say for the success are 3-4 points, and then I will go in deep for them. But before explaining them, I would like to make one more statement, and that is whatever is required by the student, whether it is study material, whether it is testing, it is time to time guidance, what to do when, this all is responsibility of Resonance. We will be continuously guiding at every step that what to do. So although I'm going to explain in next 30-45 minutes how to do it, I still say that remember these 2-3 words: do as directed. Do as directed. Whatever is told by the faculty members who will be taking the classes, just follow that. Don't divert yourself. Whatever they say, just believe that, trust that, and do that. If you do that in time, first thing is do that. Second thing is do that in time. So if you follow that, you are taken care of. You don't have to make your own strategies. You don't have to spend time in searching what you have to do. You just do whatever is being guided and directed by the Resonance team and your school team. So this is the fundamental thing that I would like to convey. Okay. Now coming to the details. In our teaching, there are 4-5 pillars of our teaching. First thing is class. Second is the homework given by the teacher in the class, and that homework is given from 2 sources. One is we call exercise sheet. Every topic has a sheet of problems. That topic is covered in that particular sheet. The second homework comes from the DPPs, that is daily practice problem. So the cycle goes like this: attend the class, you are given the homework from the sheet and from DPP. At home, the student has to attempt that homework. In the next class, that is discussed, and in our physical classroom, we spend almost half of the time in discussions. In online classes, there is a pressure of covering course, the syllabus itself. Sometimes we focus more on teaching, we give less time on discussions. And in this corona period, this last 1 year, we have learned many things, how to deliver the similar kind of things which we do in classes through online classes also. So as far as the online classes are concerned, we have learned many things in last 1 year. So our online classes will also be improving, and we will try to make these online classes also very much similar to the physical classes. So our whole pedagogy goes like this: classes, then homework given by the teacher in the class, the student has to attempt at home, and in the next class when they come, homework is discussed, then again classes teaching is done. So there is a delivery of content to the student, and when the content is delivered by the teacher in the class, that content has 2 3 parts. One is the teacher gives the lecture, the teacher gives the theory, teaches definitions, derivations, and each fundamental concept is supported by example. Like whatever concept is taught by the teacher, then he will take example of that particular concept so that student understands the concept. So concept is taught, then example is taken by the teacher. Teacher himself solves the example, solves the question. He takes the question, he solves the question, and through the discussion, through the solution of that question, the teacher tries to input the concept, how to solve the question and how to use that concept. So basically, teacher tries to convey the message to the student that how this concept is utilized, how this concept is used in solving the problem. And after the example, teacher himself gives small questions to the student. The student has to solve the question in the class itself, so that teacher verifies whether the student has learned the concept and the use of the concept in solving the question or not. So this is a basic idea. First give the deliver the concept, then take the example, then give the question to the student, so that it double verifies whether the student has learned the concept or not. And these are our philosophy of teaching is simple to hard. When we teach, we make even tougher concepts very simple, supported by very good examples. So we go from simple to hard, not, we don't go in arbit fashion. We make our content, examples, everything very systematic, and we go very step by step, so that the the development of the student happens in a very systematic manner. So very systematically we proceed, and we go from simple to hard things. In the sheet also, a sort of question bank, the question bank, or you call a sheet of that particular topic, that is also arranged in a very systematic manner in exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3. In every exercise there are subtopics, like whatever topic we teach. Let's say Newton's law is a very big topic in physics. In Newton's law, we break that Newton's law chapter into 8 to 10 subtopics, and we go very systematically, so that in the mind of student, step by step, layer by layer, things are fit in the mind of the student, so that whenever he has to do a question, automatically that concept comes in the mind of the student. So here, the one important thing that students should do related to the lecture is that whatever we will teach is a very researched material. Like myself has spent already 25 years. I'm going to complete 26 years of teaching on 5th May 2021. I started in 1995. 5th May 1995 was my first class. So already 25 years, and this is 26 years, and I still teach. I like and I love teaching. I enjoy teaching. And as Ajay said, that thousands of students, in fact, from Resonance itself, by now, 9 lakh students have benefited. 9 lakh students through classroom and through correspondence courses. Approximately 6 lakh students must have got benefited from the classroom teaching, and 3 lakh students have benefited from our correspondence courses. And approximately 45,000 students have got qualified for IIT JEE from Resonance. So there are thousands and lakhs of students who have got benefited. So coming back to that, whatever lecture is delivered by the teacher, let's say in 45 minutes or 50 minutes or 60 minutes, that lecture is very, very important. Don't lose even 1 minute of that lecture. That 60-minute lecture is not only 60 minutes, but it is the juice of thousands of thousands, or I should say lakhs of man hours. Because every year, whatever we deliver, we discuss about it, and we improve our sequence of delivering. We also improve our examples every year that we should do, because exam pattern keeps on changing. So we keep on modifying our delivery to the students as far as theory is concerned and examples are concerned. If any student want to search that 1 hour lecture in any book, it will be difficult to find in the same way, because we ourselves have prepared this 1 hour lecture delivery by referring to hundreds of books, by thousands of books, and thousands of faculty members have discussed over the years that what should be delivered to the students. So whatever is being delivered by the teacher, whether the teacher is very senior or he is at middle level or he is junior, whoever is delivering the lecture, he is delivering resonance lecture. He is not delivering his own lecture. He is delivering whatever is going to the student, is going to student after so much monitoring process. So focus on whatever is being delivered by the teacher. It's not only 60 minutes time, but it contains the experience of so many people of so many years. So that is one important thing. Don't divert even for a second from that lecture. And those students who focus and who completely receive that lecture, they will be able to solve more and more problems in the homework given by the teacher. You can just connect these two things. Those students who will not be able to solve problems, that means they are not focused, they did not focus more on the lecture. So suppose a student is given, let's say, 25 problems to solve, and the student who is unable to solve 20 problems means he did not focus more on the teacher's lecture. So those who will be focusing more and more on the lectures will be finding less problems difficult, and those who will be focusing more will be able to solve more and more problems. So by counting the number of problems, how many problems you could solve, how many problems you are not able to solve, you can just measure your attention in the classroom, how much attentive you were in the class. Okay, that is the thing. Then in the next class, homework will be discussed. How to do the homework at home. How to do the homework at home. Many of the students do not do the homework properly, or they do not know how to do the homework. Let me compare two things before explaining how to do the homework. Comparison of two things: our school studies and the study for competitive exams. These two are very different things. Though syllabus of school and syllabus of IIT, NEET, everything is same. Syllabus is same, but the method is different. And the in board, there is no relative, there is use of relative marks. Whereas in the competitive exam like IIT and NEET, there is relative marks. Everything is decided by relative. Like in IIT, let's say there are 12,000 seats or 15,000 seats. So they will take top 50,000 students. There is no meaning of percentages there. Whereas in the board, everything is percentage basically. So you can get 90%, you can get 85%. Like if I take example of 3-4 years back, the CBSE used to give CGPA. CBSE used to give grades to the 10th class students. I heard that, I read the news in the paper that 1 lakh student got 10 CGPA. 1 lakh student getting 10 CGPA, what does it mean? You just see the number of seats in IIT. In IIT, there are let 1,000 seats. So even if all 10,000 students are those who got 10 CGPA, means 90,000 students who had 10 CGPA could not make it to IIT. And so what I want to convey is getting percentages in school and getting selected in NEET and IIT are not very good related to each other. They are not well related to each other. These are independent things. No student should consider that if he has secured very high percentages in school, will definitely be going to IIT. Or a student who has not secured good marks in school should not feel depressed. So there are two things. Those who score good at school should not feel overconfident that I have done so well in school, so I am automatically supposed to enter into IIT. Not that. And the student who could not do well in schooling should not feel depressed that I cannot go to IIT. No connection at all. Only thing is that if a student has got good marks in school exams, board exams, that means it shows that the student is sincere, he is disciplined. Some good characteristics are shown by these marks. But over the 26 years experience, I have seen that not much relationship can be established between the marks obtained in board and getting into IIT and NEET exams. It doesn't mean that you should not be serious in the board exams and school studies, although they do not directly reflect your possibility of success in IIT and NEET, but still I strongly support that you have to be very, very serious and sincere about your school studies as well, because directly, indirectly they benefit you, but that doesn't guarantee you to become successful, because the exam pattern is different for both the exams. In board, you are asked all types of questions, like you are asked definitions, you are asked simple questions also, and many of the questions can be answered by going through your school book, your school teacher's class notes, by reading them few times. You don't have to apply your creativity, your analytical ability to large extent in answering those questions which are asked in the school exam and board exam. Whereas in IIT and NEET exams, especially in IIT, lot of creativity is required, lot of analytical ability is required, and that makes this IIT very tough. Why it is so tough? It is because originality, creativity, analytical ability is required much more than it is required for the board and school exam. And that is why a good combination of a school and a training institute like ours can produce wonderful results. The students and parents may recall that one of our students, Mr. Kalpit Virwal, he got 360 marks out of 360 in 2017 JEE Main. He was from one of the school association. He was in our integrated program. So I'm just giving information to the students. They can feel motivated that such a combination of school and training institute like ours can produce wonderful result. He created history. Nobody else got 360 out of 360 before that. He got 120 marks in each subject, PCM. Okay. So coming back to that, the student should know the difference between this school requirement, the board requirement, and the competitive exam requirement. In board, as I said, one lakh student got 10 CGPA, but not everybody that year got the seat in NEET and IIT. So you require a special training for bringing out whatever you have learned in a creative or analytical manner. Percentages also, about percent also I would like to say few words. Then I'll come to that homework discussion. I am slowly making that picture clear how to do your homework. In case of school education and our school curriculum, you participate in everything, like you have lectures also, you have games also, you have other activities also. Here I would like to say it may not be a happy point for the school administration, but I will say this thing because it is a reality for the students who are preparing for IIT. In 11th and 12th class, you have to focus maximum on the academics. In the other things, you should spend much less time because these 2 years are very critical for you to be successful in your goal for IIT and NEET. That doesn't mean that all the time should be spent on studies only or time on academics. As far as the percentages are concerned, in board you can get any percent, like some student get 598 marks out of 600, 590, all India level toppers in CBSE 12th exam. You can get any percentage in the board, but in IITs, even a student getting 35% marks sometimes gets a seat in IIT. In IIT exam, it is so tough that even toppers sometimes are not able to score 90% marks. And if you go to the bottommost student who got admission in IIT, who gets admission in IIT, generally that percentage ranges from somewhere around 30% to 45%. If you see the data of past years, the last student entering into IIT was having sometimes just around 30%, sometimes around 45%. These percentages are for general category students. So approximately in most of the years, 45% was in very less number of years, but in most of the years, the percentage with which a student enters into IIT is between 35 and 40, which is just something like third division in the board result language. Matlab, in 33% you pass the board exam. Here, just about 33%, sometimes 35, sometimes 37, even that student enters into IIT. So that is the level of toughness of the exam. And this difference, the student should know, because when we will be taking our test, a student will be getting very less marks. Sometimes they will be getting 20%, 40%, sometimes even negative marks also. Some students get marks in minus. So don't get uh, frightened by these numbers. So now coming to that homework thing, I wanted to clear these basic ideas. In a school, when you study, I think you don't get homework every day. Teacher comes to the class, teaches, and in a week, suppose once in a week, twice in a week, they give you problem. But in our classes, in the classes for training for IIT and medical, you will be getting homework every day. Means you will be loaded, and that is required. It is not that we like to give more homework. We are not liking the homework. We have to work to reach your goal, so that you can reach your goal. So every day student will be loaded with the homework, and don't feel that we are getting so much of work, so much of this load. It is required. Basically, in the whole country, there are lakhs of students who are preparing very hard, very tough to achieve their goal. And this is the beginning of doing hard work. Actually, in 11th and 12th, when you prepare for IIT, you do so much hard work that later on, whatever hard work you get in life, whether it is in IIT or it is in medical college, or when you are doing your job, wherever you go, you will feel that that is manageable. And why you feel that is manageable? Because in 11th and 12th, while preparing for IIT, you do so much hard work that any other work later on looks like it is lesser than what we did in 11th, 12th. So that is the training. And this training makes you perfect, not only for IIT and NEET, but for the whole life. This will be a strong base, making of strong base for you for the whole life. Nowhere in the world and no time in life you will feel that the problem coming to you is tougher than what you faced in 11th and 12th class. Okay, so in this background, I'm saying that whatever homework you have to do that homework with a spirit that you have to become successful while passing 12th class itself. In 2 years, you will become successful if you follow these things very with a good spirit. After attending lecture, when you go to home, do your homework very systematically. Do the homework in proper registers. Don't do homework in loose papers and you lose them later on. Do your homework in proper registers and manage them very systematically. Make physics register, chemistry register, mathematics register, bio register separately. For example, let us come to physics. For physics, you must have one register for class notes, one separate register for doing problems of sheet, one separate register for doing your problems of DPPs. So at the time, you must have three separate registers for class notes of physics, for sheet of physics, for DPPs of physics. Similarly, for chemistry, you must have six registers, because in chemistry you have physical inorganic separate and organic separate. For organic chemistry, do the work separately. For physical inorganic, do the work separately. So as you do your work very systematically, your mind will also feel relaxed and empowered. When you do things in a systematic manner, whatever is the volume of the work, you feel that I can manage it. I always give an example for becoming systematic. What is the advantage of becoming systematic? You go to a medical store and you have to take medicine. You just show the prescription given by the doctor to the medical store operator, and he will give you medicine in 1 or 2 minutes time. It will not take more than 1 or 2 minutes time. Okay, why it is possible? Because he has arranged all the medicines in boxes and he knows what is where. Similarly, in your studies in 2 years time, you will get around 50,000 problems, 50,000 questions a student will get in 2 years time. And those 50,000 problems, if you do in a haphazard manner, you will not be able to search any question that you have done in past. But if you want to search, if you want to revise things properly, you manage them properly from the beginning itself. Imagine that the medical store operator, that owner, keeps all the medicines in a carry bag. Let's say there is a big box, he puts all the medicines in that box, and whenever a person comes for buying the medicine, then he searches in the box and then gives the medicine. You can imagine how much time it will take for him to search that medicine and give to the person. The similar thing happens with the student also. Whatever knowledge he gets, he can keep that knowledge in the form of that one box only, put everything in that box, and whenever you need, you keep searching. And you can, the second way is to arrange whatever you have in a proper manner. Like in the medical store, you have boxes. Similarly, you do your thing in that manner. And if you do in that manner, you will have always confidence in yourself that whatever I have to search, I can search it. Whatever problem I have to revise, and this revision is a very important thing. When IIT exam comes, just before that, board exam ends. So you have very little time at that time to revise your things. How to revise? If you have things in proper manner, then you can revise it uh, very easily. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for you that what to revise. So for that 2 year, at the end of 2 year, whatever is required, you have to manage it from beginning itself. So that is one thing. Be systematic. Very important. In this manner, you will always feel a grip on whatever you have done. Like there was one slogan when this Reliance started their mobile, they used to say, "Kar lo duniya mutti mein." So, kar lo duniya mutti mein, yani whatever you have, whatever 50,000 problems you have, you may be having 100 registers, but if they are properly indexed, properly physics register 1, physics register 2, something like that, then you will have confidence in yourself and your mind will always feel relaxed. You will not feel haphazard that where is what thing is lying where. So that is very important. So at home, do your homework in proper registers. Then second thing, do your homework with timeline. Do the homework on the same day, but also do the homework in specific duration. Like you are given 10 problems of, let's say, JEE main level. JEE main level, 10 problems you are given. You have to solve them in 20 minutes time. Because in exam, you will get 2 minutes for a question, 2 to 2.25 minutes, not more than that. So you have to build that capacity from now itself. So when you are doing homework, you are learning the concept, but at the same time, you have to learn how to attempt maximum questions in less time. So do questions in that particular time duration only. That is very important. Okay. If for IIT, you will get approximately 2.5 minutes, or let's say maximum 3 minutes time for one question. So if you are given homework of IIT level, you should try to do question in that duration. For NEET, you get 45 questions and 45 minutes. So basically it is 1 minute per question. Okay. In NEET, bio questions should be done even in 30 seconds only, because then you can save time to do problems of physics, which take more time. So to give more time, you have to save time somewhere. So try to do questions of bio in 30 seconds, chemistry questions in 45 seconds, physics questions 1 minute or slightly more than 1 minute time. So these ideas you must have, because when you will have these ideas now itself, in 2 years time you can become fast. Initially it may happen that you take more time in doing question. Let's say the question which should be done in 2 minutes, you are taking 5 minutes time, no problem. Initially you can take 5 minutes time, but slowly it should reduce. 5 becomes 4, 4 becomes 3, 3 becomes 2. You should reach that level. Okay. So the people who participate in Olympics, let's say 100-meter race, 100-meter race, everybody can run. Everybody in the world can do that 100-meter race. But it is not important that you have done 100-meter race. Timing is important. Who takes less time? Similarly, in exam also, many times it happens that if I were given 1 hour more, I could have solved more questions. But you will not be given 1 hour extra. So you have to do two things. You have to learn the subject. You have to learn how to solve the problem. But you should also learn how to do the problems in time. That is also important. So learning, practicing, then doing your things in time. To save time, you can do one thing. Start reading fast. Many students read very slowly, very comfortably. So all these things are possible when you are doing these things for school exam, for your board exam, because there the board people make a paper in such a way that they take care of everybody. It is a basically socialized structure that we have to take care of everyone. हमको सबको साथ लेके चलना है. Okay, so everybody should be taken care of. That is the philosophy of board exam. Whereas in the competitive exam, they don't worry about everyone. Like 15 lakh student appear in NEET, they are not worried about 15 lakh. They are worried about the cream people. They take cream people. So learning and doing things in time, both are important. Okay, and in one day you will not become champion. You start implementing these things from now itself. Your improvement, you will keep improving day by day, day by day, day by day. This improvement is also process, and by the time your exam comes, you will become champion. You will improve yourself to a very good extent. So that final in 2022 or 2023, when you will be appearing in your exam, by that time you have to change yourself to large extent. You are not only just a collection of content, but you have to be fast also. Okay, so from all these three angles you should work. Okay, now when you do your homework, don't see the answer first. See the problem, get the answer by yourself. Many times what happens is the student just see the answer and he tries to get that answer. That answer of this question is B. Like let's say it's objective question, there are 4 options. So out of the 4 options, B is the answer. Many times the student sees only B. He only understands this was the question, this is the answer. A, C, D, he doesn't see. So when you are in exam, you don't have answer key, you don't have answer sheet. You have to generate the answer by seeing the question only. So see the question, generate the answer, and try to also understand why A is not the answer, why C is not the answer, why D is not the answer, why only B is the answer. So if B is the answer, it is not that only B is important for us. For us, A, C, D are also important. Why they are not the answers? And remember that whatever questions you are doing, you will be doing in these 2 years, that is practice. That is not your deciding test, deciding question. Deciding paper will be 2 years later. Whatever you are facing the questions from our side and even test papers, they are part of learning process. It is a practice, and this is not deciding factor. And when you practice something, you should take full advantage of that. Full advantage of that you should take. And every question teaches you. Every mistake will teach you. So suppose you don't get answer of a question, or you get a wrong answer of the question, you should not feel bad about it. That out of 10 questions, I did not get answer of 7 questions. You are in a learning process. It should improve day by day. Today you are not getting answer of 7 questions, no problem. Next day you should get out of 10 you should get 4 questions correct. You are not getting 6. Next day means doesn't mean 24 hours only. Next day means in the process of learning you should keep improving yourself. So do the homework in register, in time. Use your alarm in mobile or in watch, whatever it is, but be attentive about time. Have a broad idea that these 10 questions I must attempt in 20 minutes. It should not happen that you are just doing questions for the sake of doing the questions. You have to measure everything. Okay, then whatever you are not getting, you should mention in the register that this question I am not able to even start. Write this comment, and when you go to the next class, then ask the teacher in that manner only. Suppose you are in the class and teacher is discussing the homework. What will you say? You will simply say, sir, I did not get question number 5. This is not a good way of asking a question. You should say that, sir, question number 5, I could not even think how to start. Question number 5, I started, I did something, but then I could not proceed after that. Question number 5, I did everything, but I got wrong answer. So be specific while asking your question, because that will address to your actual problem. And when you get addressed to your actual problem, then your issues are resolved in a proper manner, not in a random manner. So ask your question that way, and you will be able to ask this in this way only if you prepare well, only if you do your homework in that particular manner. Go prepared in the class when discussion is happening. Okay, so this one cycle is completed. Class lecture, then homework, then doing the homework, then discussing in the class. So that is a very big thing. Now comes the test. In 3 weeks or 4 weeks time, we take the test, and the test papers are designed to match the level of actual exams. So whatever is the level of IIT, we try to match our test papers up to level of IIT. If it is a test of JEE Main, we will match the level of JEE Main. If it is a test of let's say NEET, then we will match the level with NEET exam. So in fact, we keep level of our test slightly above the actual test. So whatever IITs ask, we will give paper 10-15% harder than what IITs ask. In JEE Main also, in NEET also, we keep our practice papers slightly above the level of actual exams. So that when the student appears in the actual exam, they feel that this paper is even simpler than what we used to give at Resonance. So this is how we make our papers, and like in IIT, no question is repeated. All the questions are made new questions. So like we also make new questions. We also think that this year IITs may ask this type of concept from the this chapter. So we also innovate. We also keep thinking more and more about the questions, what kind of questions, what kind of concept they can ask. So always we keep preparing new and new questions. So for the student, his focus area is to do more and more questions, do more and more accurately, and learn from the test paper what is the most important purpose of the test paper. It is not how many marks you got, what rank you got, but the most important purpose of the test paper is what I do not know still, where I have to improve. These are the two basic things that a student should take from the test. From test, whatever marks you get, even if you get 100%, don't feel overconfident. Even if you get 10%, don't feel down. Just see how much still you have to learn better. That is the indicator of the test. Like suppose you have to go out to a function, you go in front of the mirror and see yourself, that what is still is to be improved in myself. Okay, clothes, hair, whatever it is. So you go and stand in front of the mirror to see yourself, that what is still there to be improved. Similarly, this paper, test paper, is like a mirror only. You just treat it as a mirror. It indicates where is the lacking, where you have to improve still. Okay. So this way, the cycle is completed. After the test, you find what are the mistakes. Even we have also designed some technological things from which we find out where you are lacking, which subtopic you are lacking, which topic you are strong. We will be telling you. But remember one thing: if you leave everything on others, you will not improve. If it is the duty and responsibility of teachers only, that every time they will be behind you, they will be telling you, they will be teaching you, they will be telling you this is there, then you are not going to improve. Take some responsibility on yourself also, and then only you can improve well. After the test, as I said, if a student scores in our IIT level test more than 35% marks, if a student can consistently get more than 35% marks, he will definitely be in IIT. That's what I'm saying. This is our experience. If you maintain more than 35% marks in our test, you are sure to be in IIT. And if you score consistently more than 75% marks in our test, you are sure to get rank in top 100. So these are the two benchmarks: 75% marks for top 100, 35% and above marks for selection. But it doesn't mean that if somebody scores less than 35% marks, he will not be in IIT. There are examples in which cases a student keeps fluctuating. Suppose in one test he gets 40% marks, in one test he gets 30% marks. Average of 30 and 40 is 35. So he's maintaining average 35, but sometimes 30, sometimes 40. Even then, students get selected in IITs, and some of these kind of students do not get selected also, because IIT day can be 30% day, or actual exam day can be 40% day also. So if he gets 40%, he can get selected. If he gets 30%, he will be left out. So these are the broad guidelines. Even those students who get less than 75% marks in our test, sometimes they surprise us by getting ranks in top 100, because in last 1 or 2 months time, when they are preparing on their own, when they are doing their revision, they remove their weaknesses, and that's why they are able to perform very well in the exam. So these are the broad guidelines as far as the marks are concerned, and I think these are the basic ideas about how to crack this NEET and IIT. The most important thing is that do your homeworks timely and in particular time duration. Then only you will you will acquire those skills which are required for the exam. These exams are very tough in a sense that 15 lakh students or 10 lakh students appear in the exam, but it becomes very simple if you do things in a right way. And right way is to do as directed. If you follow that, you will not be behind anybody. I think I should stop here. I have explained things in a proper manner, and we can keep doing arranging such sessions later on also. The students may ask questions on these things.
Thanks,
Thank you.
RKB sir. Thanks a lot for your words of wisdom about how to crack NEET and JEE. Anyone has any questions, they can certainly message me. As such, I have not received any messages. I did announce earlier also. If you have any questions related to anything, please drop in a message in the chat to me, and I can certainly reiterate it to RKB sir. We'll just give 2 more minutes. If you have any questions, please let me know.
So otherwise, I feel that if they have got some questions, if you give the freedom to ask, let them ask also now.
That should also be fine, sir. I think so. They can unmute themselves and they can ask the question.
Yeah, they can ask the questions directly.
Yeah. Any parents have any questions? Any specific perspective they would like clarification? Please feel free.
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
Okay, thank you. See, we are residing in Gulf. So my boy, he is in 10th now. So some of the students from here, they are planning to move to Kerala, like in coaching centers like in like Resonance, where in the school they have coaching. So in Corona time, it's difficult, but they may be attending through the online. So always we get the doubt that whether the student in 11th and 12th, they should concentrate more on the board exam or for this competitive exam. I know that for competitive exam, the separate coaching is necessary, but will it be too much of load on the student to go with both the student, like aiming for the good marks in board exam and also for the competitive?
Okay. So it's a very common question. Every parent and student has this question in their mind when they prepare for the competitive exams. So let me clarify one thing, that when a student aims for preparing for IIT or for NEET, then it automatically takes care of. If a student is preparing for IIT or NEET, then the studies are of that level that we can manage both the things simultaneously. And in fact, in our curriculum, in our study material, we provide the students that board material also. We provide them the we conduct tests also for the board level. So students who are preparing for IIT from 11th, 12th itself, their schooling is also taken care of by proper coordination. And when it happens through a school tie-up, then it becomes much easier for us to take care of both the things. So it's not at all an issue that a student should focus on board only. We properly channelize everything, how to get both the things done. It's not at all a problem. It's parents should not have issue on this. They should not feel worried about it. It's by proper coordination we manage this thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ji, thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions? I think so. We'll take silence as golden. We have a student from Holy Grace School who wants to give the vote of thanks.
Devika, please.
Yes, ma'am, may I?
Please say.
The roots of all goodness lies in the soil of appreciation for goodness. A very pleasant evening to one and all present here. This exclusive webinar from Resonance experts about how to crack JEE and NEET exams were very informative. I'm sure all of you have benefited from this webinar. On behalf of everyone present here, let me extend a warm gratitude to the distinguished Resonance person, Mr. RKV sir, who has given us guidance on how to crack this exam. I thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm extremely happy to extend my gratitude to Mr. Ajay Nagar sir and the whole Resonance team for their guidance and support. I thank you all. Now may I delightfully thank our dear chairman, principal and the board of directors of Holy Grace for organizing such a wonderful event even under these circumstances. I thank you all. Further, let me extend my sincere gratitude to our dearest vice principal, Ms. Sabita ma'am, Leena ma'am and Hema ma'am for their support and guidance. I thank you all. I'm extremely happy to extend my sincere gratitude to our teachers who have conducted this program in a wonderful way. I thank you, teachers. It's my pleasure to express my gratitude to all the worthy parents who have joined in this event and added color to it. I thank you all. Last but not least, let me thank all the students who have participated in this event and without whom this event would have been meaningless. I thank you all. Sometimes life take unexpected turns in different direction. Don't feel bad. Just follow the path. It may be trying to lead you to something greater than what you thought. I once again thank all the people who are present here. Thank you all and have a great day ahead.
Thanks, Devika. Thanks a lot for your vote of thanks. With this, we would like to conclude the session. Thank you all for joining. And once again, thanks, RKV sir, for really enlightening the path for all the students and even the parents and answering the questions.
Yeah, we can do such seminar later on also whenever required.
Sure, sir. Absolutely.
Okay.
It will be our privilege to have you again.
Okay.
For sure, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye,
Bye.
sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.